Hey, what's up everybody? Eric with SOLOBOX here. Thought I'd check in with you guys, show you a little bit of what's going on around here. So I'm basically caught up with the exception of I've got a whole bunch of stuff over at powder coating right now that I'm waiting to come back, and today it's Monday morning. That stuff probably won't be back until Friday. And so I've got some extra metal sitting here, and I've got some extra time, which is really rare. It seems like I'm always putting stuff off. Like take this this brake for instance. This is Clarence, because he's got the clearance. I bought this specifically to try to make new lids for a new design of box, and it's just been sitting in the corner taking up space for, I don't know, probably close to 2 years, because I just never have any time to work on this stuff. And so today, since I've got a little extra time and a little bit of extra metal, I thought, you know, I better jump back into this project, because it's always been on my mind that I want to build a lid specifically for this different style of box. See how this has a secondary, a reverse bend coming up? And then I want to do a raised lid on it that's got 45s on it. I've been wanting to do that for, geez, actually almost since I first started the company. You know, I've probably been wanting to do this for at least like 8 years now. Basically what I'm talking about is, here's a prototype one. This is actually a lot taller than what the pieces will end up actually being. It'll probably end up more like this, but this is really just tough to do. And so that's what I'm working on today. You can see here's one that I started out to make today, and I did the bends in the wrong order, and so I can't actually complete it because I started at the inside and I was supposed to start at the outside and work this way. And so the new lids are going to be a lot more complex to build. It'll be a lot nicer box. It'll be a lot stronger box. It'll be a lot better looking box. It's also probably going to be a bit more expensive box. The current boxes that I'm producing with the rotating, that turning latch, which I played a part in designing, these guys here, this was supposed to just be a kind of a layover. It's kind of the old original style box with a new latch and new angled end caps. You can see that I went to this with this angle here, which also makes the box just way stronger. It also makes it a lot more complex to build, because this whole piece of metal, if you were to look at it as like a big U, well, you have to make all of these interior cuts to get rid of the metal before you bend this, and all that's got to be done at this machine, this notcher here. And so it's a lot more time consuming to build the new boxes. I didn't really raise the price when I went to the new latch and started doing all that extra work. But ultimately, I guess my overall point here is that the current boxes that I'm building were just supposed to be a brief layover with the old style type of lid that just fits down over the top of the box. And so I've been wanting to do this for just a long time. And so today I'm kind of jumping in and starting to mess with it again. Clarence here needed some work. See here how this stop works. So this decides how much of a bend I get out of this. When I make the 45s on the top of that box, they have to be exact. And if they aren't exact, yeah, you're never going to end up with something that you can really use. So I spent this morning, I noticed that I was getting a lot of flex in this. I added a second plate to this to stop that. And I'm getting ready to do the layout for 3 more of the lids, to try to make 3 more of these. I'm just kind of messing with it. Here's, man, to make these lids, it's a lot more complex. All of this in yellow has to be removed, and all of these lines are required to lay out. So here's basically the piece of metal, and so you have to do all the layout going all the way around, and then this little jig shows what all has to be removed. Now the notcher here, this tool, I can take out most of that metal in just 2 notches at each corner. I can come across here, take this out, and then I can do the square part, but I can't get to this at all. And so what I've been doing to get rid of this part of it is the little bandsaw here, which is actually a wood bandsaw. It's not even supposed to cut metal, but it cuts through the aluminum pretty good. And probably what I'll end up doing at some point, if I am able to make these lids the way that I envision, is that I will turn something up over on the mill over there, and I will make some sort of a punch that will knock this part out so that I don't have to try to do this with the bandsaw. This is just really time consuming. And so is the notching, quite honestly, and the layout. And it's super complex. I mean, look at all the stuff that I've got to do. And this has to be at all four corners, all the way around. And then you got to try to get it into this machine and get everything to bend exactly the way it's supposed to. And then it's got to weld up, and it's all got to sit flat, which is a lot harder to do than what you would probably think. And so I've spent some time on this in the past, and I've kind of slowly inched my way forward. It's been a while since I've worked on it at all. And so today just seemed like a day where I could jump back in and give a little effort with this. So wish me luck. I'm gonna give a shot at it. I just cut out 3 more. Also, man, the amount of metal required to make one of the new lids is a lot more than the old one. I'll show you here. This is a jig for a standard lid of the boxes that I'm currently making. And you can see just how much more. It takes a lot more metal. That's a big piece of real estate there. And so probably something else I will do also is that because the box is going to be taller, I will probably also make them just a hair shorter. I'll probably bring them down by about a ½ inch or so. And man, they'll look really, really cool. I'll probably go to a much better hinge on the new design as I move forward. I'm also thinking about bringing back the original SOLOBOX and calling it the SOLOBOX Classic with just the regular flat ends and the old style of latch. And maybe trying to compete a little bit better with Tusk. Tusk has just been kicking my ass for several years now with that stuff that they're bringing in from China. And so these are the old latches. This is a way better latch. Even though it's not key locking, it is locking, but this is a way better latch than you're going to get on that cheap China stuff. So I'm thinking about bringing back the classic SOLOBOX that I originally started the company with, and just pricing it way down to where it's completely competitive, maybe even the same price as what Tusk is doing on their boxes now, and just see if I can't win back some of that business, because quite frankly, a lot of it has gone to them because guys they don't want to pay a bunch of money for panniers. And so maybe I will be doing an inexpensive, reasonably priced pannier like that that's super, super simple, and then a more complex one that costs a little bit more for the guys with, maybe a little bit nicer bikes, the BMW guys and the such. So we'll see where that goes, but that's kind of what's been on my mind to do. Anyway, oh yeah, I've been watching these girls tour on these motorcycles. I think they're in South America somewhere. I'm not sure who they are, but looks like a good time. Looks like a better time than this. But anyway, Eric with SOLOBOX. I'm going to get back to work. Comment below. Let me know what you think.